The Swords of Ditto is a cute-looking, roguelike Zelda-esque role-playing game with simple but challenging combat and lighthearted puzzles. It's never really groundbreaking, but it's carried by its solid foundations and crisp visuals. The fact that this game supports local 2-player co-op is a cherry on top. In this review, we'll explain why you should give Swords of Ditto a try. The game is about you, a hero, who claims the Sword of Ditto to rid the town of Ditto from the villain Mormo. You can confront her at any time, but it's best to take the sword and first venture through the 4 dungeons scattered around the map. In these dungeons, you can weaken Mormo by destroying an anchor. Each cleared dungeon will influence the amount of health and number of minions you encounter in the battle against the villain. If you fail, the world of Ditto will darken and it will take 100 years before a new hero arises. If you succeed, there will be statues of your hero, happy people, and the world becomes a little bit greener. The world is the same, but changes, obviously, because there's 100 years between each playthrough. This makes the whole idea of multiple playthroughs understandable and also makes it worth to give the game multiple goes. The Swords of Ditto is not made for long playthroughs, but does very well when played in shorter sessions. Its combat is simple, but intuitive, and its puzzles aren't nail-biting hard. The entire world is procedurally generated, which gives every playthrough its unique twist. This makes exploring part of the fun. The 4 dungeons switch up as well, but the themes, room designs, and bosses stay the same. Thankfully, there are modifiers that switch up some general rules for each dungeon. But going through these dungeons is still worth it because you will obtain better weapons and power-ups to go head-to-head with the evil Mormo. But there's a time limit, set by the number of in-game days you can venture before taking on evil. And, of course, you only have 1 life. We just mentioned it, the world of the Swords of Ditto is full of areas to explore so you can find weapons and items. But there's also a time limit that really holds you back. Even though you can find items to extend the in-game time available to you, it still feels like a missed opportunity. We would have much rather had no time limit but more difficult boss fights in the dungeons, for example. And when you die, money and shards will carry over to the next hero, but many items would disappear. This makes sense, but combine that with the time limit and we can't help but feel constrained in our options to explore this delightful world. You will notice how cute it looks. It really looks like a kid's game. One of the greatest aspects of this game are the weapons and especially the power-ups. In terms of weaponry, you get things like swords and magical laser beams. These are basically toys, but it's the power-ups that really steal the show. They come in the shape of stickers and can be obtained by doing dungeons or side quests. These stickers can increase your bomb capacity, add some extra days to your timeline, more damage, and so on. We here at Zooming Games are a big fan of couch co-op. The Swords of Ditto offers 2-player local co-op, and that's awesome. Enemies get a bit harder, drop rates for items increase, but players have to share everything that drops. This can make health management quite critical. But Swords of Ditto certainly is a game that plays well together with a friend, even though it's not something we would consider a necessity for this game, as it plays just as well solo. The Swords of Ditto is a light-hearted roguelike role-playing game that's, above everything, fun to play. Its presentation is outstanding, the time limit understandable but a bit of a pity, but overall, the game has lots of appeal. The Swords of Ditto is available on PC and PS4, and we give it a 3 out of 5.